Hey guys, what's up? Doing a Q&A, answering a few questions. I haven't done Q&As in a long time, but I'm getting a lot of questions in my mail about just personal, ask me personal questions, nothing about bodybuilding or life in general. So I figured I'd bring it back, and I got another one today again. So I'll just start with this one and then work the way down the inbox. He says, I've been wondering if you were going to make a Q&A video. If so, my question is, did you do any sports in school, and what were there? Blah blah blah. Okay, the rest doesn't matter. All right. The answer is no, and the reason for that is very simple. Sorry, I'm a little tired. I gotta go to bed, and it was a long day at the gym and stuff like that. Work, blah blah blah. Work, school, gym. But no, it's simple. Fucking tired. Reason for that is when I came to the States. Obviously you guys know I came to the States from Ivory Coast. So I had to learn English. I got here when I was 11. Um, I learned English in about 3 4 months in Harlem. I would stay home and watch movies over and over again, or watch Disney Stars and on subtitles, and look at my French English dictionary to try to understand the meaning of the words. And you guys know Americans have an accent, so a lot of the things they say you can't find in a dictionary. So it was really tough for me to get into society, the culture, and things like that. It's like complete culture shock. And by the time I turned, but the thing is, when I came here, I took a test. They gave me a test because I didn't speak English. They wanted to know what my level was, and I scored so high on the test, math and things like that, that they skipped me a grade. They assumed that my level was too high for seventh grade, which is what I should have been in. So they put me in eighth grade. So I was 11 years old in eighth grade, and I graduated my first year. Went to moved to Staten Island for high school. So I was 12 years old when I started high school. So I was always behind. And on top of the fact that, like I said, it was just me and my sisters that came here, and my mom. So I didn't have any brothers. I didn't have a lot of friends because, like I said, I didn't fucking speak English at first. So I was slowly getting back into it. And I was always the black sheep, the French African kid who barely speaks English, who has an accent, and who doesn't know anything, and who was fat. Like I said, I was fat at the time. So I had a lot of social issues. I was getting picked on a lot. You new in the country, you have no brothers, no friends to back you up, so you're always getting picked on on the court. And the sport that a lot of people, my friends, played a lot was basketball. So I decided to learn how to play basketball because I sucked at it. And being fat is not much you could do. And I was short too, so short and fat, you really don't have a lot to working for you in basketball. So I started playing basketball. I was getting my ass kicked over and over again. I have this stubborn nature. You guys know me. I'm stubborn. I hate losing. I hate being second place. So I would sneak out of my house after curfew hours and go on the basketball court and practice my ass off. And I had this one friend, the one that passed away, American EJ, and he taught me how to play basketball. He showed me the tricks. He was actually the best player on the court. So he took me under his wing, showed me how to play ball and stuff like that. And he was so good that every time we played 1-on-1, he was always like 21-0, 21-0. If I scored 1 point, I was happy. And because of that, my defense got really good. My offense kind of started lacking. My defense got really good because you're playing this guy who was like the fastest kid on the block. Then after that, you play the regular kids. It looks like they're in slow motion. So I was really known for my defense. And then since people used to put me on the team just because of defense, I got mad and I was like, you know what? Let me work on my offensive game. So I started working on my offensive game. And since I was short, I was always getting blocked. A lot of my African friends jumped higher than motherfuckers. Every time I would shoot, they would just get up and block my shit, whatever. So I started working on the fadeaway. And Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant were biggest inspirations to me. So I started working on my fadeaway, and it became one of my most deadly weapons. So I had the ultimate defense and the fadeaway, which just could not be blocked. I would just stay in the air for long as hell until they would land, and I just let it go. And I would go home. I would go to the court at 3 o'clock in the morning every time I practice my fadeaway. 3 o'clock in the morning till like 5, then run home real quick. So my mom doesn't know I went out. And eventually my basketball game skills got really good. But I never really tried out for the school team because one day, I think I mentioned that story before, I went to try out for the team because a lot of people saw me and they were like, man, your defense is so good and you got that fadeaway. And I also had a side shot. I would go on the side of the court and just always I even make out of bounds shots and stuff like that. So they told me, don't you try out for the team? What are you doing? Everybody assumed that I played for the team already because of how decent I was. So I decided to go my sophomore year. And this is where I got really embarrassed because I went there, and in America they do this thing called skins against shirts, where skins means you take off your shirt, right, and your team, because you're trying out for the team, so there's no jerseys yet. So if you're on the skins team, you gotta take off your shirt, and you're playing without a shirt, and the shirts team is the one that has the shirts on, so you know who's on your team or not. And I was like, what? I mean, I was fat. I had the stomach that was overflowing. There was girls on the bleachers watching, And I was like, hell no. I get made fun of enough. I'm not taking my fucking shirt off. So I fucking ran out. I kind of like backed away and ran like a little bitch. And I went back to the court. They were like, yo, what happened? I told them what happened. And they're like, come on, man. Stop being so self-conscious, da-da-da. We'll laugh at you, but, it's not worth it. So the next year I went back and I was hoping that I wouldn't be put on skins, right? I was trying to lose weight for so long, and I still didn't lose my stomach fat. So I went there to try out, and they put me on skins again. I was like, that's it, man. I'm not taking my fucking shirt off, running up and down the court. And one of my friends actually stayed and took his shirt off. He was fat too. His name was Jonathan Ramirez. He took his shirt off, and he was running up and down the court. And his stomach was moving up and down. And long story short, he didn't make it into the team, so he got embarrassed for nothing. And I was like, man, thank God I escaped that. So basketball, remained like a hobby for me. And then I got into swimming when I started college, and I was really, really good at swimming. But I never played for the team. In fact, the coach wanted me to join the team again because I'm the type of person when I start a sport and I see someone better than me, immediately my goal is to surpass them. I don't know why. It's very annoying. Like I have this personality where I'm always competing. I love to compete, and I got so good at swimming because I would go on YouTube and watch Michael Phelps videos and watch people. I would always ask questions. The same things I'm doing in bodybuilding now. It was a foundation that I started a long time ago. I would go around and ask questions. Hey, how do you do this? How do you do the butterfly? I learned the butterfly in like 2 weeks, and the coach of the college team was so shocked that he left his practice, ran all across the pool, and was like, how did you learn how to do that so quick? My students, it took them years to perfect that, and you're already going halfway. So he kept telling me to join the team, and once again, not because I was fat, 'cause at the time I was started getting a little lean from the hours of basketball. But I just didn't want to, come to 7 o'clock practice and shit like that. So it was still a hobby. So it really, to answer your question, I never really got into sports officially, but I did a lot of swimming, a lot of basketball, a lot of bike riding, and I was always active. Not just for fun, but I was also trying to lose fat. So yeah, I hope that answers your question, man. I have a lot of fucking stories. Stories you guys will not even believe, man. Because my whole life has been an adventure, coming from like a different country and experiencing seeing so much, seeing so many different people and things like that. A lot of embarrassing stories, which I'm not ashamed to tell you guys. But I'll try to open a segment where I just tell you guys a lot of my embarrassing stories, and trying to blend in American society, learn English, learn the cultures, a lot of things that I didn't know that you don't do here, and I did. Some sad stories, things like that. But anyway, hope that answers your question, man. Keep the questions coming. I like questions like that. Dominate.